Oh, hang on, my dog's having it too. Let me just get that.
In the last episode, I left you here, in a lay-by on our way to our final campsite in Hay-on-Wye, hoping that the rain and the hailstone was done and I was trying to stay positive. Little did I know that I was about to have the worst day of the trip.
Okay, so I just came and sat in the van because I'm having a little bit of a moment. So I got here, it was raining. Reversed the caravan onto pitch, kind of went okay. And then I'm trying to pitch everything up, but the pitch is quite unlevel. It doesn't look it looks as though it's quite flat, but it's not. It actually sloping a lot. Now the levelling block I've got isn't big enough, so I tried like manoeuvring the caravan in different places, and it was going up the block and down the block and up the block and down the block. In the end I put one of my grip mats underneath it, and I felt that give it a better height, so it's pretty much almost level. The problem is, because you drove one side up and you lift one side, the other side comes lower. That's obviously how it levels out. Now the side that's become low is where my wastewater container goes, and it now won't fit underneath, so the bucket won't fit underneath with the waste pipe. So I don't know, it just started hailing and I was just, I'm done now. Why is this taking so long? Why is something that's usually really simple? So
now this isn't a big issue, but after weeks of travelling and working and adventurising, I was worn out with no brain power left to problem solve this small issue. So I went into shutdown.
Just gonna get myself back together and then I'll go outside and sort it out. Just some days I find it really frustrating and I get really angry, and I tend to have, like, did you say anger issues? I'm not quite sure that's it, but now I think I've learned, instead of getting angry and frustrated, I just kind of just stop and just sulk, I suppose. I sulk now instead of getting angry. So I'm just going to sulk for a few minutes and then I'm going to go out and think of a solution. I think I'm going to have to just put the pod in a different position on the pitch, but I don't know what that is yet. Might go side on. That might be the best bet.
So I asked at reception if I could put my pod sideways on the pitch, and they kindly agreed. Now when you look at the pitch, it obviously doesn't look that unlevel, but it does actually sink downwards to the side. So where my pod is, you'll see that the hitch is quite low, but the back of the pod is quite high. But this is fine because I can still fit my wastewater underneath. So all in all, it's problem solved.
So it's 4:45 and I've only just finished pitching. I don't know why that took so long. It was as though everything I was doing just took twice as long than it usually does. 2 or 3 people turned up, pitched and left, and I was still trying to sort out my little pod. It was very frustrating, and I was like, am I doing something wrong? Why is nothing going right for me today? An example is I couldn't find water, so I went up to get some water, couldn't find it, was walking around the campsite. In the end I had to go to reception. She told me where the water was and everything was fine, but obviously that makes it take a little bit longer. Another thing was, I got out my 10-metre electrical cable thinking that would be plenty, but it wasn't, so I had to wrap that back up, put that away and get out my 25-metre cable. Just loads of little things like that. Like I was putting stuff back in the van when I actually needed it, so then I had to go back in and get it back out again. So yeah, 4:45 and I've just finished pitching. I arrived here, I think, about 1:45. Why did that take so long? I have no idea.
I mean, I did spend about 15 minutes sulking, so I don't think that helped.
but I'm now going to have a cup of tea and one of my Welsh cakes. So I don't seem to have the best of luck with showers. I just went for my first one here. I went into the first cubicle, pressed the button, and the water came out, but then it just kind of drizzled out of the shower head, like not enough to have a shower. Pressed it a couple of times, nothing changed. So then I went into another cubicle, pressed the button, the water came out, but then it came out yellow, like really yellow. But then I remember earlier today I went to the reception and I asked them if I could put my pod sideways on the pitch, and she said yeah, it's fine. And I started talking to her, and apparently today was their first day open. I think they might have just acquired the site and it's been closed while they had some work done to it. So I thought that's why it's yellow. It's not obviously been ran for a while. So pressed it a couple more times, and sure enough it ran clear. And once all the yellow had been washed away, I then managed to have a shower. I mean, it really is just one of those days, isn't it? It's 10:30, about to get into bed, pull the slats out, and they fall off. I hate these slats with an absolute passion. I'm just kind of mustering up the energy to sort them out. Everything has just gone wrong today. Okay, so I managed to get them lined up, but they're jammed. Something's jammed in there, and the problem is you can't really get to it without lifting this really blooming heavy pillow up. Now I've got to lift all that up and sort them out under there. Hate these slats. Honestly, if you think of getting a GoPod, just be prepared to deal with these.
So here we go. I'd undone the blockage, but at the same time I accidentally dislodged the last slat, so when I pulled them out, they all just fell on the floor. So then after losing the will to live, I had to put them all back on again, one by one, trying not to knock the other ones off as I do it. You'll see in the video that they fall off quite easily. Overall, it was just a very testing day. At this point, it was almost 11 o'clock at night. I was tired, I was done, and all I wanted to do was go to bed. So I just went and taken Wiggly to the toilet. Wiggly did a poo. I picked up the poo, and the poo bag split. And I got poo all over my hands. Perfect end to a perfect day. Hey, Winston? But I am done with today. Let's get to bed, Wiggles. Hey. And tomorrow is going to be better, isn't it? Yeah. Good boy. So I'm wondering what to do today. Winston and I have just got up and had breakfast. He's laid next to me having his morning snoozes. And I feel like I don't want to do anything today. I feel like I want to have a pod day. But at the same time, I feel like I should go somewhere. I was going to go into Hay-on-Wye, into the little town. There's a few things to see around the town. There's a castle and there's a walk down the river that we were going to do. But a couple of problems. Firstly, it's Saturday. I don't like going places on a Saturday. Secondly, the weather. Now, I know it's drizzly, which I don't really mind, but it was meant to be snowing. So it was forecasted that there was a possible chance of snow this morning. Now, obviously it's not snowed, but it just makes the rain is really cold and the weather outside is really cold. I don't know if that makes sense. but yeah, it's not that nice rain. It's a really cold and harsh rain, even though it's not heavy. I don't know if this is making any sense, but yeah, the weather there. The third point is my walking boots aren't dry from when I walked through the stream when we went to see that lake, and I left them in my van when I should have brought them into the pod to dry them out. So they're not very pleasant to put on. I could put my trainers on, but I don't like walking in my trainers any considerable distance, and if we're going to be walking down the river, again, I don't want to be in my trainers. So yeah, I'm feeling like today should be a pod day. And again, obviously after yesterday, not going to talk about it too much, but after yesterday I'm thinking, should I just have a chill out day in the pod? I'm thinking that's where we're heading. Although I feel as though I should go somewhere, but I'm not really wanting to go anywhere. Does that make sense? I'm also working on the next video for you guys, so I'm working on vlog number 10. Obviously by the time this comes out you would have got vlog number 10, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I enjoy making these videos for you guys, so I might just get comfy and warm in the pod, crack the laptop out and just carry on with that. Do you know what? Just recording this video and talking this out, I think I've just made my decision. I'm having a pod day, I'm having a relaxing day, I'm going to work on the video, maybe do some other bits of work as well, but we're going to have a relaxing Saturday in the pod. Thank you very much for your help. Nice clean pod. Well, it kind of was clean, then I got all the tech stuff out and now it all looks cluttered again. But I've had to give Winston his own pillow because he likes to lay down here. This is like his little spot. The problem is that behind here is the control panel, and okay, you can't see it on the video, but there's lots of switches down here. And what he sometimes does is he lays on the switches and switches everything off. Don't you? So we'll be sat there at night and then all of a sudden all the lights will go out because he's laid on the switch, or he'll turn like the charging of the leisure battery off or something like that. It's very inconvenient. And I'll sit, and hopefully that cushion now will stop him from switching everything off. Okay, so it's internet speed test time. Now this site actually has 2 Wi-Fis, so we'll test both of them along with my phone and my Falcon internet booster. Right, so you've probably seen enough of these speed tests on this trip, so I'm just going to jump right through it and we'll get straight to the results. A very interesting speed test. Obviously these 2 are no-go. It's nice that they offer site Wi-Fi, but this isn't really workable. My iPhone wasn't that great either. The booster smashed it out the water on the upload speed and wasn't so great on the download speed, but only 3 megabytes per second behind, which is pretty negligible really. So for my work I'm actually going to choose to use the booster. One, because I have an unlimited internet package on that, so I can use as much data as I want, where I'm a bit more limited on my phone package. And also because I have a lot of files to upload to my cloud, so obviously this is going to upload them much quicker. After setting my files to upload, I then made some pasta for lunch. Now, after being stuck inside for most of the day, we had to get out. So here's a little tour of the Hay-on-Wye campsite. Now, it has just reopened after being acquired by new owners. The new owners are super friendly, they're campers themselves, they're very passionate about the site and they've got lots of plans for it and they are investing in it. So although it is a lovely site and I had a great stay, I'm only expecting it to get better and better. Now this block here is the facilities block. The only strange thing about this is that the showers and the toilets are in separate rooms. So here's the room for the ladies' toilet. As you can see, they are immaculate and they look brand new. And then in a separate room next door to the toilets is the ladies' showers. Again, you can see they look brand new. Now what I like about these showers is that they all come with complimentary shampoo, conditioner and body wash. And I love this big long caddy because I travel with a lot of toiletries, so it's nice to have somewhere to put them all when I'm having a shower. Now Winston and I stayed at this campsite at the beginning of March in 2024. I paid £29 per night for an electric pitch and £3 per night for Winston. Now if you want to see what walks and adventures we had from this campsite, then please make sure you subscribe because they'll be coming up in the next episodes.